Good science, by definition, allows for more than one opinion. Otherwise, you merely have the will of one man, which is the basis of cult.
If it's not in frame, it doesn't exist.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you?
Where you been?
Drunk.
Wendy, darling, light of my life.
What's your one purpose in life?
To explode, of course.
I like death with sex. How about you, Casey? You like sex with death?
Yeah, so fuck off and die.
Do you think is Jello Biafra, is he still alive?
He was in the news the other day because he had like a stroke or something. He is.
Oh, shit. Okay.
As far as I know, he is still alive, but he did have a medical issue like last week, I think.
Oof.
Which is not too bad.
Scary, man.
I mean, that guy, Jello Biafra, was such a fucking goof, dude. I don't know, but
Oh yeah, he's a goober.
he's special. He's something special. I don't know. He's an interesting character.
Well, I love how like the dead Kennedys now are gonna like play for Trump or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
whatever
they're
it
gonna
is,
open,
yeah.
They're gonna open for whatever like the like decayed husk of the dead Kennedys. Whatever.
That's how it always is. It's like I saw Black Flag a couple years ago, and it was still like the songs are still
What was
good.
it like the drummer
It's-
or
it's-
something? Like
it's
who's left?
Literally, Greg Ginn, the guitarist, and that's it. And he sucks. I mean, he's fine. Greg Ginn's fine, but he's kind of a douche. But
Right.
that's how it goes. It's like they got I saw that like Sex Pistols are coming, and I was like, ew. But it's like they have a new lead singer that apparently is like a young guy. Like the rest of the band, it's funny. I've seen pictures. The rest of the band's like
no,
75.
I saw him, dude. No, they are. Yeah, dude.
But
They're fat and wrinkly.
the lead
yeah.
singer's, like 30 or whatever, and like a young dude. And a hip young dude that's only in his mid 30s, like us. But I don't know. I was like intrigued because everyone's like, "Yo, he's actually pretty good," and I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know. I fucking Sex Pistols suck," but also I'm like kind of intrigued. Anyway,
Right.
I guess we can start with that. This is called the Sober Knowledge Podcast. This is
Yeah, I mean, it's super topical on
works
our film today.
Yeah, sure. We're talking from, I won't dox us, but no, just kidding. We're
Yeah. People out there in
People know.
podcast land know we're from Salt Lake.
so we are reason we're talking punk music. I mean, we talk punk music just all the time in our lives too. There's fucking no good shows coming out, by the way, unfortunately, other than those ones I mentioned, which are sad. This is the only reason why I was saying.
Yeah.
But we are doing Sundance movies, right? Which, if that didn't give you away, we're doing it because they left Utah. We're from Utah. They left Utah, and so we're honoring going through. And it makes sense that SLC Punk is a Sundance movie, but I guess I never thought about it. But of course it is. And so that won the poll, overwhelmingly so. So we watched that, and it was funny because it's like, I wasn't sure it was gonna win, but it like really, really won. I don't remember what else I put now, but I thought something else was.
I know. I can't. Well, it's like funny. All the ones you put. This happens all the time. All the ones you put. There's only one movie I hadn't seen, so I voted for it.
Same.
I voted for it on the Reddit, and I voted for it over on YouTube,
Yeah.
and it didn't win. But anyways,
I think there was a
but it's
couple
like-
I hadn't seen, but
So yeah, it's funny. I actually going into this, I'm like, this is a
SLC Punk
seminal film
Yeah.
in my life.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up with this movie. I connected with a lot of friends for this movie, and it's like I love this movie. And I was like, it's kind of like I've seen it so many times. I don't really want to, I was like, I would rather see a movie I haven't seen.
sure.
But then the second it started,
It's got like
a big
the
old smile on my
like
face,
goofy
dude.
cartoon
It's-
music, and there's like those like redneck
dude,
guys
just
pull
a
up,
couple
and
of young punks,
he's
dude.
like, if I don't get some pelt tonight, my dick's gonna drop off.
Yeah, dude.
And I was like,
so good.
oh, I'm here, buddy.
I know. It's just like I'm just like, oh, my old like a security blanket. Dude.
It is like a security blanket.
Wrapping
It's
up
a lot
in
of
it, dude.
nostalgia. It's funny.
Yeah, like ugh.
So for those who, I usually do the podcast for Cindy, but this is a movie I know she's seen.
No, dude. Okay,
she's never
this
seen
actually,
it.
I can't. She's never seen
Well,
it. I know.
Cindy,
So I feel
no.
I feel really bad too because she was like, oh, we should watch it, and then I don't know, we were busy. and
Well,
got
it
caught up,
plays.
but it's like
Last time I saw it
Yeah.
was like at the Tower or Broadway or something, which was like 10 years ago. But I've seen this movie like a dozen times. You know what I mean? But it's been like 10 years since I've seen it, probably in its entirety.
yeah, honestly, it's
been
definitely
a
been
hot
over 8
minute.
years. Yeah.
And all right, Cindy, if you haven't seen it, there's some. It's just about these two punks in Salt Lake fighting the system, just trying to, you know, but Heroin Bob and fucking Steve-O's like trying to grapple with like coming of age, like, oh, anarchy, or do I grow up and like become part of the system? I don't know. And, you know, and it's, you know, life and stuff. And then, you know, Heroin Bob eventually dies out from an accidental mixing of pills and alcohol. And that's like a wake up call.
His name is Heroin Bob, ironically. He hates drugs.
Very anti-drugs. And so
yeah.
it's the fact that he dies from that is, you know, the irony too.
Cruel irony.
Yeah. And so, you know, and then at the end, he's like, only posers die. And then that's kind of the wake up call. And he's eventually does become a lawyer because he went to law school and everything. And that was like what he was grappling with kind of the whole time. He's like, I don't want to believe in anything. But like also like I fucking was a good student and everything, you know. Anyway, so just a classic coming of age movie with a bunch of low budget punk shenanigans. Good time. Matthew Lillard's fun. Everyone's fun.
And like watching it this time, like so much fantastic like philosophical musings on the punk scene. Like it feels so accurate that I'm like, you know. Oh my gosh, I forgot his name. James. I always do this. I always mess up his name. James Marandino.
Yeah, we called him John Marston earlier.
I know John. Yeah, James. Yeah. But it's like I would imagine. I don't know. You know his life intimately. But
yeah, we weren't punks in the mid '80s, so we can't speak totally to it, obviously. But
yeah. Well, I think what's great is like
some things are timeless.
No, he writes about exactly. Yeah. That's because it's like I grew up with like some. I think there's a little more like we were in like a guttery punk scene, I guess, more so. A lot of the kids I knew.
Yeah, it was like,
but they were
stoner vibes for like my crew until we all started hanging out. You know, like.
Yeah, right. And like
a lot of goth. I was the punkiest kid in my group of friends. Everyone, I was like goths and juggalos too. You know.
Yeah. Well, I never. Yeah.
before I went to Hollywood.
That's what I love about this movie is like it.
It's the meld.
It really it's the meld and it's sort of like I never like dressed punk per se. You know, I just I resonated with the music and the themes and like. Anarchy. It's like, you know,
the ideology, the DIY, you know, all that.
Yeah. That like the community, aspect of it is great. The rebellion is fun, you know, but like the kind of like rebellion with like a purpose, and the purpose is like to do nothing, which is kind of great. I don't know. It's like it's a fun.
And for these guys, I think that's a fun point. It's like they do because it's like it's like, I don't know, I'm not going to get so much into the punk ethos is like changed and become more activism where it's like definitely now there's more of that where back then it was literally like, you know, you waste it as like a little bit more nihilism back then.
Yes, nihilism, hardcore. I mean, that's Matthew Lillard.
That's his 100% his thing. Is like I'm going to go to college. Like, I'm going to do all these stuff, but then I'm going to waste it and just be hedonistic.
In,
you know,
in
basically.
Defiance, you know, of the man.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So this movie, how did it feel then coming back to it? Because so obviously we both have warm thoughts, and we grew up on it. I loved it. Watching it all the times I've seen it.
All the times I've watched it before, I watched it with like I like the jokes and I like the like violence and the intensity of it, and it's like I love the punk scene, and then it's like nostalgic to be like I actually know these locations and stuff, you know. It's like I've clearly like lived in these areas, you know, where they hang out. Like I can see the temple from my house, like it's like fucking right down the street, like I'm in Temple Square, and so it's like. And so anyways,
I know
like,
right across from your back window, right across the freeway is like that hill that they walk up on.
Is where they do acid on. Yeah, it's like where they have their bad acid trip. It's like right up that. Yeah, I can like see that bluff. But it's like so I have all that mixed in, you know, and that helps a lot. But watching it this time, I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch this like from a critical, you know, try to step back and watch it as it's filmed as it's made, and I was very surprised at the storytelling. The structure was so good where he's like it's breaking the fourth wall. It's like he's narrating his life. It's like crazy how he talks about the future and the past, and then they do flashbacks. it's edited so well.
It's organized
too. Like,
chaos, dude.
Cutting,
the editing. We'll get it more
organized
into it
chaos
because it's like
oh, don't even well, dude, because our homage.
it
and shit,
feels
But
so like forward, backward, kind of all over the place, but it is very cleanly paced and like where it's going. You're never like questioning the structure. And
no, yeah, I think that's
the
I never
structure
noticed it
of the
before
movie
either.
and the style of the movie. I never really
Like him, like he'll tell, like when Bob gets his knuckle cut, it's like that's them talking about how Bob got his nickname Heroin Bob from the time he got his like cut glass. But then it's like it mixes with like present time, you know? It's like how it's structured. It's like it's really cool how he'll like talk about they're in present tense. He's talking about it and it shows a flashback, but it's like seamless. It doesn't say like 4 years later. But then they do that. 4 years later when he's talking about going to college, and he's like before college, he's like fuck his parents. He's got the big blue mohawk and stuff, which is beautiful, dude. That's one of the best scenes in this movie. Has so many great scenes.
This movie's awesome.
And so it's like that. Yeah, I don't. That's the thing. It's like I'm just like I mean, it's hard. I'm clearly like very biased.
Sure.
But, like, watching it, I'm like, it's actually a really decently structured film.
It is.
And like all the like video essays I watched on it, people who are like first reactions and stuff, people are like, oh, this is like a good movie. Like it just
keeps going
outside of
because
it's genre.
So many times I've watched it. It's like I've watched it with an eye on film, obviously, because that's like where our background comes from. But like more so, it's like I watch it as like kind of relating to the SLC stuff and like the oppression of the church and like how it's like so oppressed here. Like it really does ring true. I've heard other like bands say
so relatable
when they're like, no, I'm never coming in here again because it's too violent. I'm like, there is like I don't know, something about it. Like we pop
dude,
off.
I tell people all the time. They're like, "Oh, you're from Utah. What's it like?" And I'm like, "Dude, there's a huge counterculture here.
Yeah.
Like there's more in Salt Lake City. It's like yeah, sure. It's like 52% Mormon, the state, but like Salt Lake is probably like, you know, I don't know, 30% Mormon. Like it's like it's funny how it's like, yeah, right. Right. Yeah, exactly.
But
and so it's crazy.
I don't know, it's wild. But yeah, watching it now more is like I really appreciate just how like punk in the way that the filmmaking is. Like I kind of before it's like obviously I was like, oh, the soundtrack is punk. They're all talking about punk stuff, like the ideologies and things like that, and like the anti-fascism and talking about that. But like now I've noticed it before, but I was paying way more attention this time around to like it's the editing style is like so aggressive. The fourth wall breaks are like so aggressive, but it's just like this rapid motion, and it's like everything is just entertaining. And like the way, I don't know, it just makes some really interesting choices that are just like out of left field, like the green screen stuff that he's like sitting at the booth, cool. And then it just like zooms in. He's at the green screen.
And he's on the green screen and he comes with it. And I'm like, I don't remember that. Like watching that again, I'm like, oh, this is so like, it's weird.
It gets
like
me every time.
But,
it
like,
is
so cool. Yeah. Like I love it.
It's like this layer of separation, and then like the acid leg shot and everything. Like there's just so many weird bits, and then it's just like the whole thing is melancholy. It's such a good coming of age, where it's just like that was the big thing. Now it's like every time I'd watched this, I'd watched it from age like 14 to 24 or whatever.
Right.
You know, I was like young and anarchy. Like I'd go out and fucking do vandalism and shit. But like now,
allegedly,
I'm like, I have a mortgage now, and so I'm watching it.
You have 2 kids, you poser.
I know. I'm watching it, and it's like I agree with like the ideologies, and I'm really impressed with the energy of the filmmaking, and it's like all that. It's like I'm a punk in my heart for sure still, but watching it now, I do feel like an old man. I'm like, oh, you youngsters, and so seeing it more of a coming of age, because back then I was like, oh, he's a poser. He broke the cycle and didn't stay true. And now I'm like, oh, yeah. I mean, it's like kind of like the inevitability of going, because especially the scene where he's like, I'm 18 and I can say fuck you, and it's like, we are the future. I'm like, oh man, this sounds like an 18-year-old, like in the best and worst way. Like it's the self-righteousness and stuff. It's so spot on though. You know what I mean? Like I look at it now and I'm like, calm down, you crazy kids. But
like you're like I feel like
bread.
His parents are like, I'm just like his parents are like perfect too. Like
his dad,
they
dude,
encapsulate
is
it
hilarious. Like how much they actually their relationship is pretty good.
Yeah, and it's like, and you can tell like there's a mutual
He like
respect,
respects
you
him
know,
too. He's just
but-
like gives him shit.
yeah,
But
right. Like, but and they both do effectively. You know,
yeah.
like he thinks his dad is a poser, a square. You know, because he's like, he thinks that he like
Volkswagen.
sacrificed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's like, I'm Jewish. Like, yeah,
But he like takes him to lunch and
yeah.
he's like, Steve-O's making a scene and he thinks it's funny though. And he's literally like, every time he
Yeah.
blows off, he's like, that kid's going to make one hell of a lawyer. You know what I mean? Like,
I know, right. He kind of. I mean, I think I think he gets it. He's kind of like us now, where it's like we see younger generations, and you're like, oh yeah, you're like you are figuring it out by kind of just like being disruptive,
Yeah.
like in that, and that's awesome.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
fucking love it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's the, that's what I love in this. It's like even like there are so many themes that they like touch on where it's like he's in like the open relationship, and they like, it's a little outdated clearly because it's like this movie was made in the 90s, but it's like they do even talk about like sexuality, and like they have the one friend where they're like, he's just like, if I get called gay, I'm not very offended because they want to fuck me. Like
yeah.
that's he's just like he's like
it's
I
not
don't
that
take offense
it's not
to
that
it.
they're giving me shit for being gay. It's
Yeah.
that they're giving me shit. You know what I mean?
Because they can't, and 'cause they give me shit because they can't fuck me.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that line. It's like,
I don't
it's
know.
like
Every
they
every
wanna
scene
be
in
with
this movie is entertaining, dude. I noticed so many
really is.
weird, just dumb gags this time though that I feel like I never noticed before. Just like so many like set dressing stuff, because this movie, I mean, we'll talk about it later when we talk about Money Minute, but it's like it's obviously filmed on the cheaps, a lot of it.
Yeah,
And-
right. And all like on location.
Yeah.
You know,
And-
found location.
But like when he goes, there's just so many small things. Like when he goes to lunch with his dad, I never noticed this before because it's like almost in a montage and he screams at that lady. But it's like there's a lot of voiceover. You know?
yeah.
But they're at a very fancy restaurant. His dad has a fancy meal, and he just has a hot dog. He just has a hot dog. like
just a hot dog and a bag of chips.
yes, hot
He's, like,
dog
eating a bag of
and
chips.
like that doesn't fit the bun on a bag of chips at this
Yeah,
fancy
dude,
restaurant.
yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know
Yeah.
why, but it's just like I feel like while they're making it, they're like, it doesn't really matter, but like that's hilarious. I don't know.
It is, yeah. Well, it's like it almost like it seems intentional. Like I would imagine that it's intentional because this
Oh, for
film,
sure. They're just
has
like-
a lot of like personal touches and stuff like that, and like
But it's the
great set
heightened
dressing because
it's the heightened reality of the movies too. You know what I mean? It's like obviously, I mean, I'm sure they don't have that if you really thought about it. But it's like so many things like
sure,
that. Like
right.
how many times they get in fights with cops and stuff too. And it's just like, you know.
right. They don't. Yeah, they kind of gloss over the repercussions, but yeah, I like, and I love like there is kind of an idea behind it too, where like they're always like scrapping, they're always fighting with other other subgenres that he
And
talks
that's-
about when he goes through that like thing, and it's like that works in the film world. Like it's weird how like this movie feels so grounded, but then yeah, the movie magic behind it, where it's like oh, they're throwing good parties, and like anybody can kind of come to the party essentially, but then
Yeah.
they'll give them shit if it's like somebody like that, and then if like the rednecks show up, then it like they're the true like antagonists, of this movie. It's like aside from themselves, like aside from them, the character to themselves. But
It works because it's like it's like so chaotic, but it's just like as the story goes and as we grow with Steve-O, that it's just like he's like, oh, maybe I'm like a poser or whatever because like everything has a system, even I have a system, and like when he starts questioning, he does the whole thing. It's like, punks fight rednecks and rednecks beat up metalheads, and he's like, final summation, none. Like I didn't learn anything, but like there's the seed of doubt is just like brewing, because it's like at the end of the day he thinks it's like chaos and disorder, but it's like it is just still tribalism, and I feel like that is something that you just learn as you grow too, because that's why like now I look at it now looking back on me when I was in my early 20s being crazy, and I'm like, oh, you silly boy, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And so,
like but that's what's funny is like I still have the like I want to burn it all
oh,
down.
for sure.
Like I really
still
like,
have the
system's fun.
ideologies, but it's just like I have a greater
but I-
understanding of my place within it, and it's like so it's like the coming of age elements like just worked more effectively, even though it is just kind of like bummer to see him shave his head off and he's just like but
I know,
I'm interested.
right?
Did you that reminds me, I forget everything about it. Did you ever see the sequel?
Yeah. Yeah. I actually really enjoyed the sequel
Did you?
for what it was. It's not great, but there is like
It's fun, but not
the
good. But it's got its moments.
The ideology though lives so strongly. Like it's great because like it's like whatever 20 years later that he made the movie, and it's like how punk has evolved, like what the how the scene has evolved.
Yeah, it's got the
how
montage of all the subgenres. It's good.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the main thing that lives in my mind. You know, that's like one of the strongest scenes.
Yeah.
You know, but I actually don't really remember.
I
it too
remember-
well. I remember being like underwhelmed for sure, but
Daywall,
like really liking
whatever his name is that played
the-
fucking Sean, that's in also Final Destination. I know he's in it now, in it again. And then I feel like they did a Ghost Bob. In
yeah,
the
they
remake.
did it. They did it. Ghost Bob.
They did
and
it.
Trish
They
is in
did a
it.
Scream 5 where it's just like my father haunts me, and it's like he's dead, but he's like 20 years older. He's like an aged ghost, you know? Like,
Right. And then did Mark come back? I swear Mark comes back.
oh, you mean Hugo
Maybe not. Maybe
Stiglitz? Yeah.
Yeah, I know, dude. I was like, man, why does he? Because this is one of those movies where I'm like, oh, there's a lot of like, you know, big name, quote unquote, just like very recognizable people
Jason
in this
Segel.
that I always forget. Jason Segel, I always forget he's in this until the second I see him, and I'm like, oh fuck yeah, he's in this, and it's so funny because it's like he's huge, you know, he like
And he's the punkest of them all too. He's hardcore.
He is my favorite, like, quote unquote punk. That's what I loved. It's like, I'm like, that's what's great is like, you don't have to, and they talk about that too. It's like, you don't necessarily have to look the part to fit in the scene or anything. It's like, you just have to like, I don't know, be true to yourself effectively.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's great too. Cause that's another thing when he's like, gonna go save the rainforest. And like, Steve-O's like, you know, oh, this fucking loser is gonna like, you know, leave us. But you can tell it's like, it's just because his friends are leaving.
His
Like,
friends are leaving, and deep
he's feeling
down,
that.
I think he does admire him because it's like, what's
100%,
more
yeah.
punk than being yourself, dude? Like honestly, it's like
Well, right.
more punk
and, like,
than not
saving
giving
the rainforest.
Yeah, dude.
Like that's punk as fuck.
Punk
Like,
as fuck. Yeah, honestly.
yeah.
But yeah, Steve-O
Right.
needed some perspective to see that. Mike knew all
Yeah.
along, you know. But
I know.
it went full circle because it's like I remember when I first saw, just talking about, I don't remember the actor's name, but the German guy that plays Mark.
Yeah.
It's like I remember when I first saw Inglourious Basterds, I was like, holy shit, it's fucking Mark from SLC Punk, and he's like, "Sink, you fool," you know what I mean? Is what I was.
Yeah, I know, right?
And-
yeah, exactly.
And
yeah,
I feel like
what I'm
now
saying.
in the last 10 years, I've seen Inglourious Basterds more, and then so now watching SLC Punk again, as soon as he showed up, I was like, "Da-na," expecting like the Hugo Stiglitz. It's like everyone in the Gestapo knows who Hugo Stiglitz is, or Mark the fucking psycho German drug dealer, which he's so good. I don't know. This movie's just fun too. Like every scene,
so fun.
like you said, it's like always cutting back and forth, and the fourth wall breaks because he's like, "Where'd you get this beard?" He's like, "Wyoming, of course." And he's like,
Yeah.
"Let me explain."
Yeah.
And then it's like
Let me
and then it's like a
explain.
25-minute scene flashback of them just
Yeah.
on a little jaunt to Wyoming. You know, I don't know. It's such a
I know. Yeah.
it's just a
What's
fun,
great, too,
cutesy
is
movie. It's messy,
it's
but that's
such a good-
part of the charm, you know.
Like, right. Yeah, it's such a good breakdown of Utah culture. Like, it really does, like, you know, explain.
Thank God the liquor
wackiness,
store people
like-
aren't cops anymore. Apparently, that was before our time, but like that was.
Yeah, right. I didn't
Still-
quite understand exactly that, but it's
Still
like,
got to
yeah,
go to the
yeah,
liquor store if you want any
Yep.
other booze that's
Yeah.
not,
Well,
not
no,
cheaper.
they bumped it up to like 5,
They
right?
bumped
Is
they
it
bumped
5%
they
in
bumped it
grocery
up a
stores
few
now?
years ago. Yeah, they bumped it.
I think a couple of years ago they bumped it up to 5.
bumped it
Yeah,
up.
it's like we're living wild, you know. They can't stop it forever.
Yeah.
Do you know why they changed it? Because
no.
Budweiser
Oh!
stopped making a 3%. They like
That is it.
They
I
wouldn't-
remember because
Yeah.
it was because
Or
it was like
some- one of
it was
the-
a couple years before COVID
some of the
because I was still working
bigger
at
ones.
Smith's, but I was working at the Salt Lake Smith's,
Yeah.
I think, when they changed it. And yeah, I remember hearing something about it, and everyone was like, it was a big deal to roll it out because we started
Yeah.
getting new beers too.
And you're like, what do we do?
And they put up
Oh my
so many
God.
signs. There was just like, these
Yeah, it's
contain
like, be careful.
alcohol, kids.
I know. Be careful. Jesus Christ, that extra
Dude, and the Paps,
You-
the PBR guys, they came to my Smith's, the Smith's on 9th and 9th that I worked at.
Dude, hell yeah.
They came and they said that we sold the most PBR out of any grocery store in this country. And they
in the country.
Yeah, they brought us.
That-
brought us like a huge shipper that had like a giant guy made out of PBR.
They
They
probably tell.
They
everybody
might have,
that, you
but
know?
they did.
They tell all
they
their
probably,
girls that.
I mean, we're the closest grocery store to the University of Utah, you know. So it's like,
Oh, that's true.
I mean, we sold a lot of PBR, man, to those fucking in like 2014 millennial college kids, dude. Forget about it. Like, it's a lot.
That is true. Yeah. God, when I used to drink, because now I'm a sober poser.
Yeah, you fucking poser.
But that was PBR was our jam. That's what we
yeah,
drink
that
all
was.
the time. So
Oh, I know. I don't want to go on too much of a tangent, but I was old man corner again. I was looking for pictures yesterday for like a school assignment I was doing, and I saw a picture that I took of a PBR display for some reason on my old phone from only, I don't know, 6 years ago. It was like 2019 or something. But a 12-pack of PBR then in the picture on sale was $7.49 for a 12-pack. And I was at the store yesterday, and I had to saw that a 12-pack of PBR now is like $18. And I was like, what the hell? Dude,
God,
so outraged.
that's crazy,
Outraged.
dude. I mean, no wonder. Like drinking's gone down a lot, and I could only imagine it's because the price.
I bought some
cray.
beers because went to a hockey game the other night, and I was craving a beer, but
Oh,
I
dude.
regret it though, because I'm like, it's so expensive. I'm like, who can afford it? I'm just gonna fucking start huffing air duster or something.
It's probably cheaper to drive to Wyoming and buy a bunch of Mickeys.
I know, honestly.
Yeah, no, buy them here.
I know, but if you've ever been to Wyoming, no one wants to go to Wyoming.
No. Well, it's funny because I was like, I remember thinking this back in the day too, and I'm like, we always went to Nevada. I was like, we never went to
Wyoming's closer.
Nevada's closer.
No, it isn't.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I thought it's like an hour and a half to get to.
No, it isn't. It's you can go to Wendover. So Wendover it's like the same distance nearly to like as Evanston. Yeah. Evanston is the closest town in Wyoming. And Evanston has still better things. You know what I mean, as far as laws go. Now,
right.
I mean, now everyone goes to Wendover because they have a dispensary there. So it's like everyone just goes to Wendover
funny.
for
yeah,
that.
That's right.
But
yeah,
it's pretty close.
I know.
Yeah,
I mean, but it's just funny because it's like they say it like it's the only place to go. And honestly, maybe back in the day, maybe
Wendover. I don't think Wendover was as developed because back in the day, in Wyoming, you just go to the liquor store, and like Wendover is still desolate. I went to Wendover a couple weeks ago. It's still desolate.
When they're being accurate. So maybe in 88 or 85, it's like there really wasn't anything in Wendover.
I know.
But
I like that scene.
I know, dude. That's one of the best. Like,
I like all the scenes, dude. I don't know. Like, other than nostalgia, dude, it's just fun. Every scene is fun.
I think my favorite part though is when he's going through the party and he's like introducing everybody.
Yeah.
It's like fantastic. Like, I love how like he's broken the fourth wall and no one else has, you know, and it's like, and it's kind of like a oneer a little bit, you know, for a bit. He comes through. And it's just like, it's great. It's got that. It's just so
There's
much
quite
charm.
a few
like, you can tell
too. Like
that. Oh, totally.
Mark
yeah,
telling his story about how his like family died in the plane crash. It's like all harrowing and shit. And he's like, Bob. He's all paranoid. He's like, Bob stole my stuff. Like, that's all just like one shot too. Just the two of them just sitting there. And like, I don't know. But yeah, the scene at the party is so good. Like every scene's good. Like, even
so good.
because the editing. We talked about the editing. The editing. I very much noticed this time was awesome. Like, it was so seamless.
It was amazing.
And there's so many jump cuts that like are used so effectively though in the storytelling and just like in the aggressiveness. Like, there's no fat. Even for a movie that is not really about anything specifically.
I know it really isn't. It's like,
always
it's
going
very coming of age,
and it feels like that feels like they're ranting, but it's just like even an or a like, they just cut it. You know what I mean? They just cut it. And they move to the next thing.
Right.
And it's great. And even when it gets like super somber in the back third and Steve-O sees Sean and he's like, oh, I turned my back on the truth. And then I dropped acid and they had that bad acid trip, which I love that acid scene so much. And it's just like, I don't know if anyone's ever had a bad acid trip. I know I certainly haven't. But allegedly.
Allegedly. I actually, never mind. Allegedly I have. But, it's so good. Like I always remembered when I first saw it, I felt like, oh, that kind of drags. But like watching and I didn't really think that very much in the past after I watched it a few times. But like watching it this time now, and I'm like, oh, it's so good. It's so crucial to this. Like it's who he is, and it really establishes like the connection he has with Sandy, and like so when he sees Sandy fucking that other dude, even though he's established these like core rules that he's like, we're in an open relationship and that's punk rock. He's like, oh, whoops. I guess I'm not as punk
my
as
emotions.
I thought I was.
I'm like, I'm a slave to
Yeah.
my biology and everything. You know what I mean? And just like all that. It's like, it's
And
like
then
I have a system. You know.
And that's a really good follow through for like the rest of the movie. From that is like that is his like low point is Sandy, and so it's almost like when Heroin Bob dies. That's not necessarily a low point. That is kind of almost a climax. Like that is that's where everything comes together, and he like realizes like, oh fuck, like I was kind of in a rut, you know, and this is like, you know,
the bad acid,
cruel cosmic
seeing
world.
Sean, and then the bad acid trip is like the start of his funk. You know what I mean? And it's just like, if anyone has allegedly had a bad hallucinogenic trip, it's like that does change your like mental headspace for a while.
Weeks. Yeah,
and
dude.
it's like, and if you have a good acid trip, allegedly, it changed your headspace.
It changes your for good
for weeks for good,
for weeks, yeah, for good. But I know
so it makes sense
great
that he's like,
that
he goes to the party and he's like, it was a weird vibe, and it's like the lightning going off and.
I know.
The dude trying to summon
so cool.
Satan, which I like. I know that guy. I know that guy. Party.
Dude.
Like,
that you reminded me of Chris. That's so
dude.
bad, dude. Like so much. Like there's so many people in this, and I'm like, oh man, these are like that's what's great. This movie is so nostalgic. Like my heart aches at times because I'm like, I remember like just disgusting houses that we would all hang out at.
Yeah, so much.
Tons of people, and it's like
all the graffiti.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chris Knudsen.
Yeah.
If Knudsen. I may be remembering it wrong, so I might be totally wrong, but I feel like he did tell me about this movie that the guy in the gas station or in the liquor store, gas station, whatever it is, in Wyoming that's talking about Nazis is like his dad or his uncle or something. And it does look like him.
Shit.
It does look like him.
Really?
And
that's beautiful.
I don't know if that's I don't remember
believe it or
if he
not, I
said
love
that,
it.
But
yeah,
even watching it this time, I immediately
fucking with
always
us,
think of it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I had no idea, but I totally can see that. Hell yeah, I can totally see that. You know what's fun? The acid trip scene. When they do the green screen and it's like, you know, Utah explodes.
Oh, and then it's just T2, right?
And it's T2, dude.
I know,
I
know that nuke. I know that nuke anywhere. I didn't
That's so
used
funny,
to,
like
but now I'm like every single time I'm just like, oh, that's amazing.
It's like I just love it because it's like I'm like, oh, that's so you can just kind of get away with that, right? Like you just
it's such
throw
a
it
change.
in your little indie movie, and like you know, and it like, but it worked. It worked so well.
I know. I'm surprised that they just stole it too, and like
I know they
that's
just
punk
straight up
rock.
stole it.
I don't know, like
yeah.
They're
right,
like, we're just gonna still like we don't have the budget. We're not gonna make like a giant nuke scene. Like that's not a budget. Just gonna throw fucking one of the best nuke scenes in film. We're just gonna chuck that on in there.
I know, right? When they checked like just enough of it that it was it's like you're like okay, yeah.
By the time anyone noticed, it was like it's already out, bitch. like
yeah, right. And it's like, I mean, I wonder how he did it. He must have just.
I don't know. James Cameron doesn't care. He probably just like, no, I don't trouble myself with these swine, these peasants.
He's literally making the most profitable film ever that year. So it's like whatever.
Every year he makes a movie.
I know, right? But I think I think Titanic still holds like for inflation and stuff. But
I don't know. I think Avatar's beating it. But I'm pretty sure Avatar's beating it.
Did Avatar beat it even? Okay. But still, anyways, he's fine. He's making his nut.
He listens to this podcast and he's like, "Whoa, SLC Punk stole that scene from my movie." What the fuck?
He's like, no way, I gotta get my guys on the horn, dude. James Marsden's
get my
going
lawyers,
down, dude.
John Marsden's gonna burn.
Yeah.
Anyway,
oh man,
it's hot in here now.
I know, yeah, I'm sure.
This
yeah, man, it's like You know,
Tell
I think
me-
his blue boots were pretty dope. I love those.
Everything's
The fashion in this is like fucking on point.
pretty good.
It's so good.
The soundtrack is also very good.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I
Definitely. I watched this with Jesse Hughes quite a few times.
yeah, that's on brand.
In a dirty basement.
That's on brand. Oh yeah. I feel like last time I watched this it was Pablo's first time seeing this. Is when last time I watched it. We went and saw it at the Tower. Was the last time I saw it. So like 9 years ago or something. Give me, I mean, be a smidge early. I mean, I don't know. Just we're punk rock just all over the place with this movie because it's like I can understand if someone doesn't like this movie, I can get it, or that it's just like didn't click for you, and it's like don't get me wrong, a lot of it is nostalgia, but it's even if I had a brain injury and I watched it for the first time yesterday, I'd still have a fun time because I put it on. I asked my wife, I'm like, do you want to watch SLC Punk with me? And she's like, sure. But she's like, oh, there's a hockey game on tonight. Do you want to just start it now? And so we started it early, and we just watched it like during dinner and then like after, and we were both got just sucked in, and it's just like it's just fun. I don't know, it's just like a fun. Right. Well, it's fun until it's not, and then the ending is like pretty sad. But
well, dude. Okay, so on that note, I have to, I would be, a dummy not to mention the effort that Matthew Lillard put into this because this is one of his first. He's already been established. It's like this is late 90s, but
it's like leading man,
This is, like leading man and like really like showing his chops. Like this is his favorite film that he's done.
Oh really?
And that scene, I just watched an interview with him.
Not Scooby-Doo.
And I know, really though, yeah. He's proud of Scooby-Doo.
Oh, I know. Yeah, he's honestly the best Shaggy. He's still he did the voice for a long time too, and he's great.
Yeah, he's really good. Matthew Lillard, he's got a soft spot.
I like
for sure.
Yeah.
But anyways, he that scene at the end when only posers die. He only shot that twice, and it was the first time they did it before lunch, and he just couldn't. He was just trying, to cry, and he just couldn't get it. He just it just wasn't clicking, and so everyone went to lunch, and he just he stayed in that room and just used that time to muster up the images of his father and their relationship and how fucked up it was, and just everything that he wanted to use to cry. And then they came back and he's like, roll it. And they rolled for 10 minutes straight of just him doing it. So there's 10 minutes out there of him doing it and just ad-libbing and saying different things and just crying.
It's so good, but it's
good.
Cringe in the way that it's just so real of watching someone just ugly cry, and just an adult man who's just always putting up a front, to just see him break down and just do this ugly cry,
it gives me chills every time.
It's almost too much, but it's perfect.
Yeah. No.
But it's perfect because of that. It feels so extra. It goes on long, and he's just oh, I was not ready for this and everything, and you're like, God damn, it just feels real in that way, where it's just a dude alone and his one friend his last shred to hang on to, all of his friends are leaving, everyone's grown up, right? Everyone's falling in love with girls.
I love how I love how
dies.
he talks about it, how he was kind of the main reason he's in the scene, and but then it's great because he's well, when I was in the scene, I was in it, there's nothing else to think about, he's like, and that's, he feels so genuine, and that's that carries a character so far, and I love that. I love when he dies, and then the flashback. I mean, we can't leave this podcast without saying we did that in our movie. We totally ripped this off because it's so good.
That's true.
So yeah. You gotta,
we should have ended it. I mean, we kind of did our movie. I'm we should have ended it with you sitting on a park bench and then breaking the fourth wall.
I know that would have been sick. I mean, we ended it with me doing the look up into the heavens at the film premiere.
That's good.
Yeah.
Tell me, I'm curious, what was the budget on this guy?
Yeah, pretty low. This was technically his second film. He did some other projects, but this was like he had a film under his belt, and then he went to Hollywood, and like some big producer guy was like, "Oh, take you under your wing," and so like, this was the script he presented because he obviously wrote it, and so it's like they got funding. It was $600,000, which is
low.
Which is a fine. That's a fine.
I was gonna
budget.
guess.
That's really low.
I was gonna guess like 1 point something. You know what I mean? Million.
Right.
Is what I was gonna guess.
So 600,000.
Anything that's in the anything under
clearly.
$1 million is like good for you. Especially because it's like this has obviously had staying power. Like you said, there's some pretty big people in it, and it's like I think it's still good. It's because of how also like scrappy it is. Like I don't know. It's the movie itself takes the DIY like fucking in your face like ethos of punk, and is like as a film it's like such a good punk movie, you know what I mean? About like it's about the culture, but it's like it does a good job not only explaining some of the ideologies and like some of the like philosophical musings that come with it, but as just a package of filmmaking. Just like the guerrilla stuff, the stilling of the T2, the goofy jokes, the editing, everything is the package. Like, I don't know. You'd be hard pressed to find another movie there are other pretty good punk movies that have that punk,
of course,
DIY energy.
But
you know what I mean?
But this one, but this like, I think it's like narratively, this has to have, someone dying, and that's kind of I think that rings true with a lot of like punk ones. But I feel like. I don't know. I feel like this one has like you said, a level of comedy in it.
Oh yeah, this movie's hilarious.
I don't see very often in punk movies. They're typically like the kids. They'll goof with each other for sure, but it's like typically really serious.
Yeah, very self-serious
for the most part.
A lot of the time.
And so like this one like really doesn't take itself too serious, but like when it does take itself serious, it's kind of like it like hits a joint and goes like, "Whoa, dude!"
Yeah, like it's sincere when it wants to be, because it's not. I don't know. It's interested in growing up as a punk. How much did it make on that?
Well, yeah, not very much. It made like.
Oh yeah, well theatrically, I'm sure it didn't make off, but it stands.
But what I did find, which is fun, is it. So it's first. So obviously it was in Sundance, and then it ran some other film circuits, and then I couldn't find out what it sold for, so I don't know. But it's whatever. It's like Sony Classic or something. But I couldn't find out what it sells for. But it debuted in 30 theaters, which is very low, and then it made like I don't even know $40,000 or something the first week. And then it wide release was 130 theaters. So it had a really small release and it made $300,000. So that's not, that's not like terrible, but it's kind of funny to be like, it's like, I can't imagine some dude in Kentucky who's like SLC Punk, huh? Well, I don't know. It's like, I guess you wouldn't really know it's Salt Lake City.
Yeah. But. I think it's a gem. Like obviously I feel like here and also being into more like that type of music. It's like it's kind of a must see, but I do feel like it is pretty known, and it's definitely like a cult classic. You know what I mean?
I think
for sure.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I could I guarantee you he probably made millions off the back end because this was right in prime time of VHS and DVD.
Oh yeah, I have the DVD.
Yeah, of course. And it's like I guarantee you he made, and it was right in the prime time of getting a good deal on that back end too. And the in the 2010s and 11s,
doing Sundance movies like we've been doing. The 90s were, as you've seen, we've watched a couple of the 90s ones now, but the 90s were the time for this era of filmmaking. You know what I mean? Where it's
it was
kind
low
of
budget
the filmmaking
pocket where that Sundance was mainstream enough
that it was known that big things came from there, because Sundance had been around for a while before that, but it's big movies were starting to come from there. But then it's later, I was looking at some, we'll see what I put for next week's poll, but some movies that are on there, I'm like, these movies are big Oscar winning fucking the best. Some of those
I know. It's like Avatar ran through Sundance or something.
Honestly, now it's just,
okay, Yeah. Really though, it is like sometimes that'll happen where I see a movie and I'm like, it's one of those things. Like I understand how directors do things and like the studio works and stuff, and it's like whatever the parameters are to get into a Sundance. But like it is funny to be like, well, this was like $55 million budget and you're playing in Sundance. It's like,
yeah, for sure, right?
That there should be a cutoff. Like there should be like a
it should be like $5 million.
Right. No, literally, yeah. There is a parameter, but like studios can still back a movie.
Yeah, that's true.
And still get into the. I can't remember what it was.
That's why I laughed when people were like, "Are you gonna put your movie in Sundance?" I'm like, "Our movie costs like $5,000. There's no way." Like, no.
No. We made a micro budget film.
Yeah.
We did not make a.
No.
We could get into like the Spud Fest in Idaho. Like we could get into like some.
Yeah.
You know, I can't. Did we? I can't even remember.
No.
We applied for
tried,
5 or 6.
We tried for a few, but like we were poor.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I can't remember because it's like some of them are like $150.
Yeah.
So
that's a lot of money for us. Anyway,
for us.
It still is. I got a couple of Reddits. So, and I pulled it up on my computer because
we
got a voicemail.
We've got a special. We got a special voicemail for the end.
We used to always, if you're a longtime listener, we love you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll remember a couple years ago, we used to always put up our number for our like Google Voice, and we'd get some friends calling, leaving us voicemail. So we got one today. But first,
hey, let's do the Reddits, and then I'm gonna give our voice message out too.
Okay.
We got to get a phone number. I want more people to call in. So
we got to remember to check
first,
it. You wouldn't have checked it if your fucking mom didn't tell you, probably.
No, that's true. Yeah, I guess that's true.
You got to actually check it.
Anyways,
if you leave us a voicemail, you got to go on to Reddit and be like, "Hey, I left you fucking voicemail, losers."
Yeah. No. I'll make sure to check the voicemails every week.
All right, that's your job. I'm not gonna do it.
Okay. Because I did that last time when we.
Yeah. We got a lot of comments this week, and I'm very happy about it. Thank you, everybody who commented. I got 30 comments, so I'm only gonna read a couple of them. Duder von Dudenstein says, as a person from Salt Lake City, there's always love for this film. And then he left a post to a video that's a comparison between the filming locations and then like the now.
I watched that.
I did too.
Yeah.
It was very cool. And
It's
some of
great.
the locations that I like vaguely recognized from the movie, seeing them in the modern day, I was like, oh, I know exactly where that is. Like it didn't click.
Yeah.
From like, because it's changed just enough. And so I was like, oh yeah.
There's typically like one extra building next to it.
Lots
that you're
more
like,
trees.
oh, yeah,
like,
that's it.
and when they filmed it too, it's because like SLC Punk is like, early winter. They say it's the fall.
Yeah.
And so like a lot of the trees are dead and stuff, but in this one the trees are bigger and it's like spring or some shit. So, go to the Reddit and check that video out if you're interested. It's very cool. I thought it was cool, especially if you live here.
Yeah. Thank you for
posting that. You're awesome. I think I know who that is, actually. Maybe I'm curious. I'll talk to you about it after if I'm right. Strange Reverie says, loved it growing up. Me and my brother and friends must have watched it 100 times. It was a big part of my initiation into the world of punk rock as a troubled 13-year-old weird kid, which in turn ultimately led me to all different kinds of alternative / underground / knee / counterculture stuff as I got older. So I'll always have a special place in my heart for that. And just for pure childhood nostalgia, there are moments in it that make my eyes roll a little bit nowadays, but meh. Very few things that we worship wholeheartedly at age 13 hold up 100% in adulthood, or at least that's been my experience. Thank you for that comment.
Totally.
That's why I say, sometimes it's kind of cringe, like looking back at it now, but like that's the perfect encapsulation of like that youth, right? You see that, and it's just like, they're so sure of themselves, and they're just like, you little crazy youngsters. And then obviously it's like, the acting oftentimes is good, but oftentimes it's also a $600,000 movie acting. Sometimes,
right. Yeah. They shot it on film, so you can't get that many
You got
takes.
Anarchy in the UK. The Criterion Crypt says Steve-O is a fucking poser. Don't at me. I got fair enough. A lot of quotes. Good. I got good flick, and the end always brings me down. Fucking. Hang on. Sufi says, why didn't anyone tell me that Bob dies? Bob saved Steve-O from Rush. All right. I sat down and started watching Kronos. Then I remembered I had homework. Had to finish watching SLC Punk. I voted for it, and my side won. It was kind of like we were watching it together, kinda, except we weren't watching it together probably at all. Yes, we were. I watched it. We were all watching it with you. They go on to say the kitchen scene with Steve-O and Mark is something I grade really high on. A long scene, no cuts, lots of dialogue, and relating in movement, and a big gun and moving the scene along and along and along. Learn something. You can buy alcohol and fireworks at the same place in the state of Wyoming. I'm still scared. I thought there'd be lots more music. Drops my grade. Thank you for the comment. I appreciate that. And yeah, Wyoming's crazy. And listening to it now, there's not as much punk music. The music is really good, but there's like...
I was going to say, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's peppered throughout enough. I think it's like, it could have been gratuitous, I feel like.
Yeah, of course,
you know?
of course.
But so it's kind of one of those things. I get it though. It's
I
like,
want more like, hey, I know that song, you know.
There is a balance. I know, right. There's only like 3 songs on there that I really am like, oh yeah.
There's a lot of good ones. It's like I always like hearing, like there's a lot of good needle drops, like that Fear needle drop where it's just I love living in the city. Like
living in the city.
Every time there's so many good needle drops. But it's like there's a surprising amount.
Dead Kennedys at the end.
Yeah, there's a surprising amount of like classical music, right? So
yeah, right.
Thank you for that comment. I got someone says Lillard's best film for sure. This one is I don't even remember that. Putting blah, blah, blah. This is Dark Wax excellent. Dark Wax Ellen says putting on a uniform doesn't make you radical, realizing that Mike is probably the only real punk among them. He's not acting like a punk. He's one because he doesn't take shit from anyone. 100%. Clones are People 2 says first watch. I'd never even heard of this before, which is wild.
Whoa,
which means I guess we do live in a bubble. I guess
that is true, huh? Yeah, I guess it's like
because I was like, yeah, I guess it's a hidden gem, but like everyone I know has seen it, but it's because everyone is from here and it's SLC's in the fucking title. So yeah. I mean, my parents haven't. My parents haven't seen it or anything, but anyway. So he goes on to say, it was all right, but I didn't really connect with the characters. It has a strong you had to be there feeling, like it's rooted in a specific moment and scene that doesn't fully translate for me. Matthew Lillard is great, though. His energy carries a lot of the film. I love the music and the chaotic, almost anarchic vibe. There's a lot of humor, and most of the characters are pretty likable. The editing is really creative, especially in the drug sequences. It feels like it's taking a page from Breathless with that jumpy style. The ending hit me more than I expected. Bob's death felt unfair. He deserves a happy ending, and the final scene where they are younger is a good choice. A nice reflective moment that reframes Steve-O's character and motivations. Overall solid, but not especially memorable for me. Thank you for that. Yeah, I was wondering, the fact that you haven't heard that wasn't on your radar. It's interesting how it's like, I can see the lukewarm reception, so I'm really trying to like separate my other experiences with it. But I think it's like, other than just having seen it and grown up, it's like this movie clicks for me in a way that like the same way that like Green Room clicks for me. Like a lot of people are not going to like Green Room, but it's just like so my taste. You know what I mean? It's like I think it does everything really well, SLC Punk. But I could see that if it's just like that's not your vibe, I can get it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's like when we watched Green Street Hooligans.
Yeah.
we're like, and there's no, I felt like I was a dead fish, like watching that, like I had no emotional connection to anything in that. And that's, so it's like, not to say that you Clones are People to think that per se, but it's like, it's just, that's the vibe. I can see that like coming into it and being like, there are people who are like, oh, culturally, and like, it's something I like soccer and stuff. So it's like that movie clicks with you, regardless of like how its quality. And so that's kind of the vibe where I'm like, well, these are like, I see these people as like peers. Like if I watched this movie for the first time now, I would be like, oh, I knew a lot of these people growing up. Like,
sure. For sure.
And so, yeah. But I get that. Thank
you
for
sure. Thank you. One more. Competitive Bat 5831 says, for me, this is a classic. It's a coming-of-age story about two punks who never really delved into the groups. They made such a large part of their identity outside of the fashion. My favorite thing is the preppy white quarter zip with the anarchist A where a Ralph Lauren logo belongs. Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah. That's a great, that like windbreaker.
Yeah, dude, his drip is so good.
I love when he's like, the cops come and he's just got his hands up.
I know. He's like, that's right, I am Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, Bob, man.
Yeah. I don't think Steve-O became a poser. I think he was always one. Him and Heron Bob wore the punk rebel labels as cosplay. Their shitty apartment was an active choice. They were privileged, college-educated adults in Utah, Steve-O is much more due to his father's clearly having a great job. He folded on his ideals the moment they were challenged, which makes me think he never really believed in what he said anyway. Matthew Lillard is fantastic in this movie, though, and as someone living in SLC, I can't help but love the cinematography. Thank you, everyone who commented. I kind of agree with all that. It's just like it's like a.
I mean, I disagree a little
I
bit.
wouldn't say
think
he's a poser. I wouldn't
No,
say he was
but-
a poser. I'd say he believes in it, but it's just like you can kind of only practice
Bob
what
is
you preach as an anarchist.
in the movie. Right, in the movie, Bob is the one. You see Bob, and like you see his you get very small glimpses of his childhood and of his home life, and Bob was the one that was like, I want to be radical. I want change. You know, and I want something different.
Yeah,
and so it's like they needed each other.
Be
and
yourself.
Matthew Lillard was like, oh.
Without fucking the conform to the polite rules of society and everything. And
yeah.
It's like Steve-O.
And times change because D&D now is like punk. Like you're like living in like the margins
D&D's
of like
mainstream
any kind
now,
of culture.
dude. D&D's
well,
fucking
sure.
Stranger Things.
But like it's still like that's it's like Stranger Things, but like I don't know. You go to like Middle America, you go to Kentucky, and you tell some guy that you play at D&D.
Nah, D&D used to be dangerous. No, I see because it's like I wouldn't say he was always a poser, but it's like that is the point, right? Like that's kind of the message. Like at the end, when he meets the beautiful girl with the awesome eyebrows, Sandy or whatever. Not Sandy, Brandy, Sandy.
Yeah, Brandy. Well,
And
Brandy's brother and sister, like they rock because they challenge his view, and he loves to talk to him because he he believes in anarchy, wholeheartedly, and the other guy's kind of just like, well, anarchy is kind of everything.
It's anarchy is part of it, but it's the cycle, and all that. And I think like that is the point when she's like, you dye your hair blue, like that's part of it. Like you just be yourself, you know what I mean? And it's not about doing that whole thing. And so it's just like, but that's part of growing up, right? It's like I feel like that's what's the coming of age, right? It's like when you're coming of age. I'm in a young adult fucking literature class right now, so that's all I've been talking about. But it's literally like the transitional period of like trying on identities and trying to figure out like who you are. It's like a liminal space between childhood and adulthood, and so it's like it makes sense. Like I wouldn't say like it's. I feel like it's kind of harsh to call him a poser, but it's like at the same time, it's like, yeah, I feel like he wasn't. Like, it was easy for him to come out of it. I mean, I guess it wasn't that easy, but it's just because, he needed that wake-up call because it's like he was so far in it that he was, like, trying too hard, and that's not punk. Punk is, you don't, you be you, and you look out for the little guy, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Anyway.
Look out for one another.
Anyway, everyone that commented, thank you. I really appreciate all the people comment on this. It's a fun movie. I'm glad people showed up for it. If you're actually listening to this, you're even better. So you're great. Voicemail.
Yeah, we love
voicemail. You ready? I haven't heard it yet.
We got to listen to the voicemail.
All right. So I got a voicemail. Hopefully I can. I mean, I have to put it in there because I can't do it like I used to. But here it goes. So we got a voicemail from one of our dedicated listeners. Let's go.
Hello. Hi, guys. One of my very most favorite podcasts, Cult of Cinema Knowledge. I wanted to chime in on the SLC Punk review you're giving, and James Marandino. I was so fortunate to be in a drama class with him in high school. Of course, he has a lovely bride now, and they work together well. But I had a crush on him so much so I couldn't even speak when I was around him. Congratulations, James, on SLC Punk. And there's the new one, Only Posers Die. And there's also too many other works to name that you shared and worked on. Great Kills, another newest performance you're working on, and the Italian show, Fantastico.
Thank you, Mom.
Oh, is that it? Thank you. Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah. I know. It's like so he's got that. It's like a little documentary coming out.
You were saying something like that. Yeah.
So I'm excited. It's like that's fun because it's like I'm gonna watch the sequel again because I want to know.
I'm in the sequel.
I remember I remember like being like, you know,
If you know where to pause.
but wait, you're in it?
Yeah.
Oh, do they film a show?
Yeah, they just filmed a show that we were at, and so it's like you would never know,
hell
but
yeah, dude.
since if you know what you're looking for, I'm like, hey, that's me, and I paused it. So it's just literally at a concert
hell
in
yeah,
the crowd.
dude.
It was
That's fun. What show was it? Do you remember?
yeah, it was Dwarves and Screeching Weasel. A lot of fun.
Oh hell yeah.
John got kicked out of that show because I went with John and Zach.
Of course, yeah, dude. See, that's like we like that's it's hard to not be biased because we grew up with these
Yeah.
we grew up with these fuckers, like all these dumb kids.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that, Cindy. I like it when people leave these. I like to hear. I'm sure people like to
know.
mix it up because it's like all you hear is our stupid fat voices all the time. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah, my voice doesn't sound thinner.
does.
But okay, if you want to be one of the lucky ones out there to
please.
give us a voicemail, please God, give us a call. We would love it. If you dial the number 385-275-0169. If you give that a dial,
Yeah,
you can
if
you
you're
can get
not
us. We need to change the voicemail. The voicemail is you being like, blah, 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 blah,
It's so funny.
something stupid. I don't know what you said.
No, it's just so funny that it's just like, who leaves voicemails? I don't know. Like that's
No,
all
it's
that goes-
amazing, dude. It's
so
great.
good. But I was
love
about
it.
to be like, yeah, if you don't like sitting behind your phone or keyboard and typing anonymously about the movie, you can be anonymous with just your voice and just call us and leave your voice and we'll play it on here.
And just let us know if you want us to play it on. We don't have to play it on. We can just talk. We can
I
do
just
it
read
like
it
a.
too if you want to.
We can do it
transcript,
like a. Yeah, we
'cause
can do it
we
like a
are
review,
changing
too.
our name
But-
for next month to the Cult of Cinnamon Knowledge because that's what it translates.
Yeah, that's what the translation. I know, dude.
the AI translation.
I couldn't.
No,
it
really
couldn't
though.
keep
Thank
up.
you, Cindy. But yeah, I don't know. Fun movie, good stuff.
Fun stuff.
We that's it. So we got one more week. It's a 5 Monday month, so that means 5 movies this month. So I mean, I guess we will talk about what we're gonna do for next week.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out next month. But we're gonna come to the Patreon.
Come to the Patreon.
We're gonna be doing a bonus.
We're gonna do a bonus
We're doing the
episode,
trilogy.
the before
we are
trilogy.
doing the bonus episode. We're doing all 3 movies. Well, I mean, technically we did the first one.
We'll
so we're
breeze
doing
over the first
the next
one.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's gonna be a comprehensive,
The complete
discussion about all
package.
3 movies. Yeah, and I'll finally seen it. So if you want to come hear my thoughts on it, come join us on Patreon.
Yeah, come check it out. Everyone on the Reddit is awesome, so keep coming to the Reddit. Come tell us what you want to watch. If you have suggestions of things you want to see on the polls, be sure to tell me. And if you come to the YouTube, if you're on the YouTube, hello, thank you.
Leave a
You
comment.
guys are great. Yeah, you're great. Don't forget to smash that subscribe, like and subscribe or whatever.
I know, dude. Only posers don't subscribe.
Yeah. If you want to be a fucking true, you're a poser if you don't.
Yeah.
All right, goodbye now. Bye now.
Goodbye.